So, uh, taking action. For those of you who have followed along, you know that there's a lot of baggage that I have in regards to trading. I'm not going to go back into all of that again, but um, obviously, I struggled. I spent all of last year trying to get to this kind of next level and really getting to where I wanted to get to with my trading, and I didn't get there. That left me feeling a lot of regret. That just added to a lot of the stuff that I was already carrying with me in regards to trading. And ultimately, in situations like this in the past, I would have been very slow to take a next step. So, as I've decided to re engage down this road and move forward, I realized that one of the big things that I need to do is, obviously, I talked about I need to learn the fundamentals. I need to go back to basics. I need to go ahead and review information that 90% of it maybe is going to be old hat for me, but that 10% is a critical piece of 10% that the people that I have worked with in the past just assumed that I knew. When you start going down, a certain path, particularly with something like trading, and you're actually actively trading, you're in the charts, you're streaming, you're very public about this. People just assume that you know all of these very basic fundamentals. I did not. That actually extended to my best friend in the world, Daryl Martin, one of the best trainers out there. But here's the thing. You've heard the old adage of, the surgeon shouldn't work on their kid. The closeness of the relationship certainly makes things a little bit more challenging. Excuse me. One of the decisions that I made as I'm going through this process is that, look, I believe in coaching. I'm hiring a coach, right? So this left me with, well, a couple of options. I mean, I could reach out to Daryl. If you know who Daryl is, you know that the reality is he's not exactly flush with time these days. So that was one mark against that. But the other is that he and I have been having this trading talk for 15 years. And while it's really tough to admit to myself that I skipped a few steps, it's pretty tough to admit to somebody who's been guiding me down this path that I skipped a few steps. Now, I'm not afraid to tell him or admit to him that I've skipped a few steps, but I feel like that would just open up a whole unproductive set of conversations that would really take away from this whole process. Now, he is also, to describe this guy's level of intelligence is just, it's impossible. And one of the things that I know about him is that he doesn't realize when somebody is falling behind. He'll be talking, and there have just been so many situations where, like, my eyes glaze over, they're rolling up in the back of my head, and he's just talking. He has no idea that he has left me 3 miles back, right? So I figured I wanted to take a different route. So what I did is I went ahead and I talked to somebody that I know well enough. I respect what he's done in trading. I know that he's worked with other traders and coached and led. I haven't talked to him about sharing who he is, so I'm not going to do that at this point. But I went ahead and took that first step. I've paid him. And he sent me a PDF that I have to read by tomorrow. So the whole point is that it would be really easy to say, look, I'm going to be out of town next week for several days. So it would be really easy for me to say, you know what? Let's go ahead and start after I get back. Let's just take it easy. Really, let's start when my mind is really focused in on this and I'm all in. Well, the fact is, I'm all in today. And if I wait, I'm not going to get more all in. Now I'm probably not going to get less all in because I'm pretty all in here. But I'm not doing myself or anybody any good by putting this off another 2 weeks before I really start to engage. So I'm going to have 2 sessions with them before I'm even out of town. We'll skip that session because, well, I'm going out of town for a reason. and then we'll resume when I get back. And I will presumably have homework along the way that I can actually take advantage of that time on a plane or whatever, where I can just make sure that I am getting the information and the foundation and the fundamentals that I need. So I think that that's a critical first step. And I got to tell you, putting up the money was not the biggest challenge for me. In fact, I mean, it wasn't that much money. It wasn't that big of a challenge. But psychologically speaking, I mean, my psychological challenges go back 25, almost 26 years now, which were not necessarily confirmed last year, but I certainly didn't get to where I was wanting to go. And this left me with the potential to let last year's lack of results hold me back. I regret not taking all of the steps that I'm taking now last year. There's just this feeling like I wasted all this time. If I had just started from the beginning last year, started from these fundamentals, I would be so much further along. And that may or may not be true. I really don't know. You can't go back. You can't see, what was that movie? There's a movie where basically it follows two different paths of like, if this happened, this anyway. I don't remember what that was. But you can't do that. All you can do is say, I'm here now. There are two roads ahead of me. One road is stick around. Wait it out. I don't know. Wait 2 weeks before I get started because I've got an excuse of going out of town and whatever that might look like. Or saying, fuck it, I'm all in. I'm ready to go now, and I'm going full force. I choose path B. There is no value in waiting it out. Not for me, not this time. I know what I want, and I know what I need to do to get there. In fact, what I need to do to get there is what I teach other people to do. So I better be clear on that path. The fact that I wasn't clear last year, well, I had split priorities throughout the year. Not an excuse. No, it is 100% on me. However, I was definitely focused on multiple things. I was learning how to be a coach and how to work with people and how to develop certain things in the people that I worked with and deliver content and listen and learn and engage with people in a way that I never really have before. And I was trying to trade. I'm not saying that I'm there necessarily, but my focus is not split. I really have put together what I feel like is a pretty reasonable map in terms of taking those next steps and building that foundation. You can't have a solid structure without a good foundation. I know this. I've known this for a long time. And I tried to convince myself that because I was past certain pieces of it, that I was past needing all of it. And that's not the case. So, took that step. And as soon as I finish up here, I'm going to shut this down, and I am going to get into this, I don't know, I guess it's an ebook, really, PDF, 20, 30-page ebook. And I am going to read it. And then I'm probably going to read it again, and I'm going to take some notes on it as I go. And I'm going to have my first coaching session tomorrow. And I am going to do for myself what I propose to do for other people moving forward, which is not dick around. I'm in. And so it begins. I don't know how long it's going to take before I get into the charts. We kind of talked a little bit about that. I don't know, maybe a couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks. Hopefully no longer than that. My hope, I'm not going to say my goal, but my hope is to be in the charts, and I will be streaming my trading in the mornings once I am. But my hope is that I am doing so before the end of February. The sooner the better, but I'm not going to push it because I think that's a lot of what I did last year. I was pushing an end result and neglecting the path. I'm not doing that this time. So anyway, that is where I stand today. Commitment is made. Things are on the schedule, and work is to be done. So I will continue to keep you posted and let you know how I am coming along. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I appreciate you guys. I love you all. God bless. Have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. I do that almost every day, so just get used to it. Have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday, and I'll see you guys soon.